talk about the outrageous childhood of Thanos. Thanos was born to his father Alars and his mother Susan, who immediately after laying eyes on baby Thanos was driven mad and tried to kill him because of the deviant syndrome that made him look the way he does. For a large part of his years in school, he would isolate himself because he was ashamed of how he looked. But Thanos still managed to build up a reputation of not only being one of the smartest kids in school, but also an amazing artist and a pacifist. He had dreams of being a scientist just like his father. Now, we really didn't get our first glimpse at the true nature of Thanos until a girl convinced him to go into a cave with his friends, and they got trapped when part of the cave collapsed, leaving them separated for 3 days. Now, literally right before this, Thanos was dissecting a lizard in school and had to run out of the classroom to vomit because he couldn't take it. So, obviously, he couldn't eat any of the lizards or critters in the cave for survival because he seemingly had at least some respect for life. But after digging through the rubble, he saw that a group of lizards had eaten his friends who were stripped down to the bone. Thanos escaped the cave, but that same girl who convinced him to go into the cave the first time convinced him to put his passive nature aside and go back into the cave again to wipe those lizards off the face of the moon. And so he did. And he liked it. Thanos became obsessed with learning about life and death. He also became obsessed with trying to find his place in the universe. So what started with dissecting a lizard quickly evolved into the first 2 murders in Titan's history. 2 of his classmates who he stuck up on while they were about to get down to business. All of this was under the motivations of the same girl who was clearly enabling him. Now, Thanos wanted nothing more but for her to love him. She wasn't having it though. She rejected every single one of his advances. And this wasn't a do you like me, check yes or no type situation. She told him straight up, you could not make me love you. Just look at you. A lonely little boy god frightened of his own shadow. What makes you think you're worthy of anyone's love? Like a simple no would have worked just fine. So now, more confused than ever as to what's going on, Thanos starts really searching for meaning in his life. This led to about 15 more murders and dissections, including his own mother, who was in a mental institution, because he thought that by doing so, he could find the key to who he was, both physically and spiritually. Wouldn't you guess it? He did not find that key. That very same day, he abandoned Titan. He swore off killing forever and made his way to the outer rim of the galaxy, where the law was scarce, life was cheap, and no one would notice one more murderer among many.